Welcome back. So, what is a good book? In your opinion, what is a good book? Is the cover of a book very important to make it good? Is the print got to be good? The number of pages got to be good? The author has to be good? Or the publisher has to be good? The edition has to be good? Should it have illustrations? Then it is good. So, what makes a good book a really good book? How are they becoming classics? How are they staying a real classic for hundreds of years? So we will see some of the characteristics today of some of the books. All these are my opinions. So you have to decide on your own actually. I'll take three books and let us see what are these characteristics of these books and are they good or bad. Okay. So one of the first books I am going to talk about is 5 Weeks in a Balloon. I think I have a copy. 5 Weeks in a Balloon. How do I show this? 5 Weeks in a Balloon. Then the other book that we will talk about is La Miserable. Hope you are seeing the name La Miserable. Les Mis, they call it. And then we will talk about War and Peace, the biggest one. And from there we will go. Okay. First and foremost, let us look at characters. In 5 Weeks in a Balloon, if you see, I'm not going to become a spoiler alert here. Basically, there are three characters which the whole story is driven. So you can focus on that actually, and even the context on which it is the story is moving is almost as a single thread actually. Comparatively, you take War and Peace, man, 500 plus characters actually, and there are many important characters, many families, many threads in the story itself actually. Very difficult to keep track, relate, remember. Same character with multiple names. In fact, I had to make a big list of all the hierarchy, like Ramayana or Mahabharata, to read the War and Peace actually. 1500 pages. Not a joke. In 3 volumes, it was luckily for me, but still, it is a very difficult one. Then come to La Miserable. Les Mis is comparing to 5 Weeks in a Balloon, it also has very few characters. Main characters I am talking about. See, even if 5 Weeks a Balloon, you will see that some small characters keep coming and going. Those are not the one. The main thread. What are the characters? That is what I am trying to talk here. Character building is very important in La Miserable. Also, actually, the thread goes only on the main character, the protagonist. Then there is another important character that goes through the complete thread, and there are multiple characters that come. Two or three important characters are there which will come, but you can follow the story very nicely. Even today, I would have read many times, I remember the story and the characters. Same way in 5 Weeks in a Balloon, but in War and Peace, I can't remember one name. First of all, they are all Russian names, so I should not blame that. I cannot remember. But those names are so difficult to recall. What is that character? Who is that? The only character I remember in War and Peace is one of the families, the patriarch in one of the family is a gentleman who is a nice person. Means character wise is a very good person actually. And he the way I remember is takes a nap between breakfast and lunch. Actually, he has a workshop where he works. He's a very rich person. Don't think workshop means some carpentry workshop or something. He does something in those in his free time, and he's a very rich. That's a very rich family. All the families are rich actually in that. At least three families I remember are rich families in that, and aristocrats kind of people, big houses, mansions, workers, all that stuff. So here in that is the thing happens actually. So character building is very important if you want to say after some time that that book was very good actually. That's how I talk about character building. Then what is the next one? Most important is plot. The plot again in 5 Weeks in a Balloon is very crisp and straightforward. La Miserable similarly is straight, but there are twists and turns in that. There's no doubt, but it doesn't take you away from the main thread actually. But again, I'm not against War and Peace. I really enjoyed War and Peace actually, but War and Peace is slightly so many threads keep going on in that actually. I can't keep track while reading also. I just read it because I had to read it, and I enjoyed it while reading. There are many parts where, specifically when they are talking about the person who is getting affected in the war and all that stuff, breaking his limbs and all that stuff, those are all things that I really appreciate. So what is a good book there actually in terms of plot? I should be able to enjoy it as well as recall it, remember it, talk about it, and enjoy. Simply sitting back one day, if I see the book, I should be able to think, oh, okay, this is how that character was and the story was and things like that. I'm not going to say which is good or which is bad in this actually. You have to decide on your own. But for me, character building is very important. Plot is very important. Of course, I like books that are looking beautiful on my shelf, no doubt about it. But that is not the primary criteria. I'll take a different session for that on some other day. I always buy the best editions. Of course, today I am able to afford. When I was a kid, I used only books from the library. That too in India, the books from library will be, I should not blame, but it's all dusty and things like that. Somehow but I read those books only. Those books from those knowledge from those books stay in my mind even today. Actually, I can recall books like Children of the New Forest. What a book, you say! It's a beautiful story with just four kids and an uncle. I still remember Uncle Jacob. See, just like that, you are able to recall when you read something. Peter and the Dyke. Take something and you will recall. Those are small stories, but they have a profound impact on what happens. So, character building and plot is very important. You need twists and turns, but not beyond a point, actually. So, that is what is the objective of this lesson. And another important thing is, most of the time we think, oh, the end is going to be great. The end need not be anything dramatic or anything like that. I don't think that is very important. The reading process should be enjoyable. I should be able to, in fact, today morning I was reading another book of Jules Verne. I read 50 pages already today. Now it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but I already read 50 pages before 9 o'clock itself. So that's how a book should take you actually. And I am not a person at this time in my age. I'm not a person who is looking for self-help books, but everybody is talking about this book, so I thought I will see. And today morning I started actually. Actually, last night I started. It is a good book. Is explaining how small habits um build up and you can succeed in life actually. It's a very good book actually, I can say, in my opinions. All the four books I talked about are good, but when I say really good book, for me, War and Peace doesn't stand in that actually. Somehow for me, War and Peace is an epic. I know Leo Tolstoy, great great man. So that's the story today. And if you have any comments or questions, if you say why War and Peace is one of the best book, another book I'll tell you. Everybody likes it comes up in book clubs and all that stuff. Till today I didn't understand The Great Gatsby. See, different people look at it in different points of view, but for me The Great Gatsby was, even today I don't understand what is it that it is conveying. I'm not clear at all actually. I may read it again. Let us see in the next session. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much and have a nice day.